Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. I have done many stories about the safety of women and children with regards to transgenderism. And some people will say, doesn't that sort of tar everyone with the same brush? Well, yes, it does. And if you have a penis, you should not be any place where there are women and children. And here is a case in point. A convicted man, a man who was convicted of the most awful crimes involving children, has now been found guilty of R-ing a woman, and the words were used with her penis. It's beyond parody. If he's guilty of this crime, he is a man. Now, I would be interested to see if the courts, given the recent sort of furore and backlash, will be putting this, quote, woman in a woman's jail. A woman, of course, who enjoys R-ing women. Will he be put into a man's jail or a woman's jail? I do hope it's into a man's jail, because he identifies as a woman even if he's a man. So at the very least, he'll end up suffering the same fate as he's caused. It may give him an abject lesson in karma. But we'll take a look at this story, and this is why, of course, I think it's so important to protect women and children. Here goes. Right, so this was today. This was in Bristol in the UK. It is described as utter lunacy. A transgender child S offender found guilty of R-ing his friend with her penis. A convicted child S offender who later claimed to identify as a transgender woman. So he committed that particular crime as a man, has now been convicted of R-ing a woman with her penis shortly after being released from prison. So he goes to prison for the most heinous of crimes involving children, gets released, and then immediately commits R of a friend of his. Dominic Risdon, 24, who now claims to be a transgender woman because jail is easier, court named Lexi Rose Crawford, has been found guilty of Bristol Crown Court of R-ing a female friend in April of 2019. Following the conviction, the release of the previous court records revealed that in 2017, Risdon, then identifying as a man, was found guilty of having sex with a 15-year-old girl whom he met on the internet. According to the paper, shortly before being released from prison in 2019, after serving just half of his 4-year sentence. Why are they getting 2 years for R-ing a child? The courts in this country are a fucking joke. You are a child. You do that to a child and you get 2 years. Anyway, I can feel it. It's going. Anyway, Risdon began to claim to identify as a woman using female pronouns and adopting the name Lexi Rose Crawford. There's a picture of him. And he's a man. There is nothing feminine about that. He's a big, fat, burly man who likes to R women and children. He got and did 2 years for R-ing a child. Now I hope that this judge has given him a lot longer, but we will wait and see. Just weeks after being released early on licence conditions, the convicted S offender went to the home of a female friend to supposedly play video games, whereupon he attempted to molest the victim in the latest case. The victim, who's been left unidentified for legal reasons, told the court that Risdon wanted me to lie down next to him and then tried to start like cuddling me, which I don't feel comfortable with anyway. And then he started removing my clothes, which I didn't want, and I kept saying, like, I don't want to. As to why she didn't try to fend off her attacker, the victim said, what could I have done without using physical contact to stop him? And then that would have been me in the wrong by using physical contact. Yeah, this is how it is. Someone attacks you, you attack them back. You're guilty of assaulting them. This is the stupidity of the law in this country. We need a stand your ground law in this country. And imagine if, for example, having been convicted of doing that to a child, he had have swung from a gibbet. He had have ended there and then, suspended by the neck. That woman would never have been attacked. There's no repeat offence when there's a penalty that ends your life. It is disgusting. Anyway, on the first day of the trial, Risdon reportedly appeared before the court with a chin full of stubble and a short moustache. However, these were shaved off by the second day of the trial, and the convicted offender also inexplicably adopted an American accent for the proceedings. Despite apparently not having secured a legal change recognition certificate, the Arist was referred to as Miss throughout the 4-day trial, and the formal indictment in the case of accused Risdon of using her penis to R the woman. He's a man. Why can't these wankers that are in supposed authority see that wankers like this deserve, if they want to be women, after committing crimes like this, off with their damn ghoulies? If that was the punishment, there'd be a lot fewer of them going, oh, I'm a lady now. He's doing this because he wants to go into a woman's prison. And that is the last place you should be putting a man who R's women. And will the courts have balls? Will they fuckers like? You guarantee he's going to end up in a female prison, and he'll probably only do 3 years because the courts don't give one flying shit about women anymore. Now, I'm not going to go into it because I can feel the bile rising. This convicted Arist will be sentenced on May the 10th, and we will watch to see what he gets, because I can guarantee he won't get long. And I tell you what, he's already done time for R-ing a child, and now he's R-ed a woman, and I bet he doesn't get 4 years. He'll get 8 and be out in 4 for doing that. That is absolutely a joke. How can any girl or woman fend that off? It's disgusting. And the court's calling him a her and referring to her penis. The courts need, all these people, all these judges need to lose their fucking jobs. Every single one of them. And we reappoint people as judges, not the legal profession. We appoint people to judge. So it is the jury. So basically the jury decides the punishment. And if the jury was deciding the punishment, people's punishment, let me tell you, people like that wouldn't be coming out of jail in 2 years. People like that wouldn't be coming out of jail. I am going to stop because I am so mad and angry about things like this. When J.K. Rowling talks about the safety of women and children in regards to transgenderism, this is exactly what she means. Men, predatory men, pretending to be women so they can get close to women and children. Now, putting this monster into a woman's jail, you might as well just hand women over to him. He is a big man going into jail with all those women and his penis. What do you think is going to happen? It is like putting the fox in the hen house. And the courts are so stupid and so woke that they probably will let this happen because they don't want to offend that tiny, tiny minority of mentally ill, dangerous, predatory men. It needs to stop. We need to start locking people up like this, not for 4 years, not for 8 years, but for the rest of their life. Either that, you take them out, you suspend them by their neck, and they will never reoffend. And you stop pandering to these people who pretend they're women. They are not women, they never will be women, but they will always be an absolute danger to women and to children, and it needs to stop now. I will stop too because I can see how angry I am getting. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, please hit that subscribe button at the bottom. Ring the bell for notifications of future output. Leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, don't go anywhere near any woman's penis, and goodbye.